Welcome to Own It, the podcast where we talk to real estate thought leaders about embracing your strengths, taking your career to new heights, and owning your future. Live from Inman Day 2, we're recording our Own It podcast. I'm Hillary Saunders, Chief Broker Officer and co-founder at Side, along with Spencer Kroll. Super excited. Kat Robinson. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to chat with you. Your story is amazing. First of all, you are Tailored Homes out of Houston.
Tailored Real Estate Group.
Real Estate Group. Yes, I love it. And you have an amazing story because I love it because you're mom, you are boss lady, you're a realtor, and just like powerhouse energy ball. You walked in the room and like,
well, I'm just following your lead. No. You know that, right? So
luckily not following mine.
I know that's questionable, but no. I appreciate that. I mean, I feel like we're all in it to win it. And we're not going to let things slide. So if whatever title comes with that, come what may, but I'm just going to get it done.
I love it. So how did you get started in real estate? Because you went to school and then were in retail.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So how did you transition to real estate?
The role that I was in retail management, I was a district manager. So I had 8 stores over like 500 miles apart. And it was super challenging to develop the relationships that I really wanted to with my people along with my community. Like I just really wanted to put down roots. I was entering into my like early 30s and I just really wanted that sense of community, and it was gone. Or it wasn't there. So I decided to step down. I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. My husband was supportive in that move away from that role so I could be home and around. And he said, you should check out real estate. And I laughed. And then my best friend from college said, hey, you should check out real estate. And I laughed a little bit less loudly. And then my mom, my parents, like all of a sudden it was as if they had a powwow a few weeks before I started asking the question. And I think at that stage of life, I was ready to hear what people had to say. So I went ahead and joined a team as an assistant just to watch, see what was going on. And I thought, well, I think I could do that. And I got my license 5 weeks later. And within my first 18 months, I had closed about 54 transactions. And
that's impressive.
I had so much fun, without having kids. And my husband at the time was working on his PhD, so he was pretty worthless too. So I just went at it and had a blast. So I did 4 open houses a weekend. I would show on Labor Day when I couldn't even make showing appointments because showing desks were closed. I just went at it and tried to find my voice, and here I am now. It's kind of, I feel like you should pinch me.
So you're super active now with HAR, and that is the largest realtor association in the country.
It's one of them, yeah. There's 2 others that are larger because they've joined forces, but I'm not going to hold that against them. Right now we have 45,000 members, and I am so honored to be their secretary-treasurer. So I'm slated to be their chair in 2027.
Congratulations!
Thank you. It is a lot. It requires a lot of time away from home and away from business to be at conferences like this. So I can see things ahead of the curve to effectively be in that position. And it's fantastic. So from that role, they want us to be involved with Texas Realtors. So just on Monday, I was in Austin voting on the budget and working through all of that process. And then I am also on the board of directors for NAR too. So I'm able to get a bird's eye view as to what's going on with our legislation, our litigation, what's another word that starts with L, learning, and then be able to come to conferences like this to learn about the business side and really cool tools and different business models that you see out there. And that's the joy of being in leadership with HAR, because Bob Hale wants us to know what's going on.
Bob's such a good guy. I appreciate him.
I am in awe, and I am so grateful that I get to be in like his inner circle and we get to text about things. Again, pinch me. It's amazing.
A question for you. You said you worked in retail. What sort of retail business was it?
I was a district manager for Abercrombie & Fitch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so what was really incredible that I took away from that it really gave us a platform to learn. They gave us a program that we followed every day. And as a district manager, I was just making sure those managers knew how to use the tools to effectively follow the program. Mm-hmm. Because of their diversity and inclusion efforts, due to the consent decree that they had to sign in the early 2000s, DEI was ingrained in us constantly. And so I'm really excited to have that background because I needed that education, and I also can now teach that now, especially with it being such a buzzword. Actually, we're kind of going into DEI fatigue right now. So we're trying to figure out how to keep that going, because at the end of the day, humans are the most important facet of our lives.
Sure.
Right. So, and I think, we all three of us can agree real estate is a relationship business, right?
100%. Oh, I don't agree.
There's the sarcasm.
Sure. But we're all helping our communities provide home ownership, right? Yeah. What are you and your team seeing in the Houston market? What struggles are you seeing? How are you teaching your team to help your broader community? Because I know that's a big push of HAR too, is home ownership. And how do we help the broader community achieve that goal?
Yeah, home ownership is in our DNA. I believe a speaker said that already at Inman. So what I'm teaching my team is different tools and different ways to bring in as many people as possible to the table. We've really pushed the census tract mortgage that Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, they require a certain amount of loans to be sold in minority majority areas. So in Houston, there are some really great lenders that are fantastic at their job that provide that, and it gives them a discount off of their interest rate. It's 0% down. It's no PMI, and there's not a cap on it. Their debt to income ratio is what caps what they can spend, similar to a VA loan. So it's magnificent. So we were actually able to use that and get us through that Q3, Q4, and Q1, and continue on that success track.
It's amazing that you seem so excited about it. Because a lot of people are like, oh yeah, we're doing loans or whatever, but you're really seeing that as a whole part of everything. Of your mission.
Yeah, absolutely. Where you lay your head at night is your foundation and platform to launch the next day. So if we can provide more stability for our humans that share this planet, it's going to allow us to be more calm and centered. We'll be able to succeed in so many more ventures, whether it be teaching an 8-year-old how to read, or walking someone through a transaction, or being a rocket scientist at Johnson Space Center and NASA. Right? So if we have that platform to launch, we can do it. If you don't have a platform, you can't jump.
Where do you find your inspiration?
Oh gosh, Bob Hale, right? he's stellar.
Who's your mom?
I am a mom. It is so much fun.
Right.
What an adventure.
It's also challenging, and it's also a balancing act. So how do you, because now with your role with HAR, and you're saying, you have to be here and there, how are you finding, I don't want to say juggling things, because I don't think that. I think you incorporate it into your life. Mm-hmm. How are you finding your peace? How are you finding your center?
It's a great question. And I think that this is something that everyone has to work through, depending on whether they're mom or not, right? I think the job that we have is uber demanding. To be with our family. And I will have to say that mom guilt is probably the heaviest thing I have ever felt. Like leaving my 6-month-old at a Mother's Day Out program so I could go show. I cried all the way to the showing, all the way back, even though I was going to write an offer and help this family have that platform. But gosh, that was heavy. And so in order for me to execute the things that I really want to do, is I have to prioritize, right? You can be great at 3 things, right? So my 3 things is mom, sales, and volunteerism, right? The leadership roles that I have. Like that is my MO. So you know what that means? That means my house is probably not going to be perfect.
But that's okay.
That's okay, right? It's not a priority. And then, so whenever I see, dirty dishes in the sink, I hope it's a Thursday because my beautiful Anna comes every Thursday. She's such a blessing. Leveraging out for help is huge. It's not a priority, and that's okay. And so I have a lot of self-talk. I use an app, it's called I Am, and it's a widget on my phone. So every time I open it up, it's a new affirmation. So I am strong. I am happy. I can focus on what I can control, and I can handle it. It's stuff like that. And you can write your own affirmations and all of those pieces. So I am constantly putting positive energy around. Self-care is huge. So I have my weekly advice lady. I love her. I've been meeting with her for about 2 years, and she helps me with all the different facets, whether it be I'm a single mom now, so dating, and then keeping balance with the relationship with friends and family, and all the different pressures, and how to have conversations with team members, and just how do you feel about that? A lot of task-oriented, goal-driven people don't have time for feelings, and unfortunately, that can cause a lot of destruction if you don't deal with it. So my weekly cadence with Dr. Lori helps me tackle that stuff.
Do you ever get overwhelmed?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Let's normalize that, shall we?
We should.
It's fine.
No. Excuse me. I'm asking because, okay, good. Now we're on the same.
So the phrase that I like to use when that happens is it's whenever you're trying to load a website and like the circle just keeps spinning. I call it the circle of death because it kills me every time. But that overwhelming feeling, I have to sit still. And then I use a Remarkable, which is a great tool for realtors to stay organized with all of their notes. And I write down everything that I need to do. And then I will then prioritize. You have the quadrants, like the urgent and the important. And so whatever is quadrant 4, we've got to go. Those are the fires that we've got to put out. And then I'll delegate the other tasks. I have a phenomenal director of operations. I love her to pieces. She and I talk 7 days a week. I am always trying to figure out new ways to take care of her. So I try to Uber Eats her food for her family. She has 4 young children, and working with me on all the leadership things and all the logistics that come with that, and the team stuff. So she's helping coach how to write offers with some of our new baby agents, and she's just phenomenal. So having her helps immensely.
It seems like you have a lot of dialed in programs that are working well. Time blocking, using quadrants, using Remarkable. Where did you learn to do those different, or where did you learn that skill set?
So that management role that I had in the past definitely was huge. They were all about those quadrants. They were all about centering, preparing for really difficult conversations. So actually, I just had this conversation in the hallway where we were studying athletes and professional musicians on how they could execute stuff under pressure. And my HR guy, I loved him. So I love him. He's still around. He was a catcher all the way through college, right? And if you can imagine the pressure of it being, the 9th inning as tied score, and you've got a full-grown man running as fast as they can to take your plate. So in order to center, he would say brick wall. So he had a phrase, and now he uses that whenever he's getting ready to have a really hard conversation with HR, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy. So, and apparently there's a ton of athletes and performers who have a phrase or a word to help them center, focus, and execute.
Yeah, I use UGG. I just say UGG. I got it. have this conversation.
So inspirational.
Do you? I'm just curious, Hillary. Do you
have a word?
Do you have a centering thing? Do you?
I do. No, I do. And my center, quite frankly, is from as a competitive swimmer. It's always physical exertion of some sort. So I have to have my workout. That is my center. Yeah. My husband meditates. I need physical activity to center me, and my kids can even come into my workout room, and that's fine. But as long as I'm there, I'm like, okay, everything is fine. I can do anything. Like that is my inner pace.
Yeah, I do that walk. I walk every day. I like 4 to 6 miles. And, so I try. I put that. Well, that's when I get a lot of business stuff done because there's no email in front of me. Yeah. So and I like the fact that you do your time blocking and all that. It just amazes me how many people have systems. And every system is going to be different for a different person. Your team members that I'm assuming you help them set up systems, or they learn by from example of you.
Yeah.
Do you find that there are some people that just can't absorb it?
Yes. Yeah. And they're gifted at something, and I feel like as their leader is to help them find that gift. So instead of just closing a door, I try to find an open window for them to figure out what talents they have. And unfortunately, sometimes as much as you try, you can't do it for them. Yeah. And so I had to let go of some team members just last month, and it was really hard conversations because I really, really wanted them to succeed so badly, but they prioritized other life facets above being present in their business, and they just could not convert. They couldn't convert a leaf. Like it was so challenging to coach them through that. And finally, after hitting my head against that brick wall, I said, you know what? I don't think this is the right fit. Let's, what other ways can I help you find the better fit?
Yeah. And did you hear brick wall right there?
Yeah,
so
you saw that.
I heard that coming.
Yeah.
So before we wrap up and let you go on with your adventures today, where is Tailored Real Estate now, and what are your goals? I won't give you a time frame because I just want to hear where your vision is, because you have many obligations in the next couple of years with HAR.
Correct.
Where do you see Tailored Real Estate going?
So I would love to have Tailored Real Estate Group doing at least 300 sides a year. And I do have a timeline on this because in 2027, when I take chair for HAR, I will have 30 trips on my calendar immediately, in addition to making all of the local meetings for the different associations and clubs and all of that stuff, and talking to the media. So it's a huge responsibility, and I'm so excited about it. So I have 3.5 years to get my system squared up for recruiting, for retention, for systems. What can I take off the agent's plate to make them more productive? What can I do to support my director of operations to make sure that she doesn't burn out? And how to effectively find the right part-time staff to cushion the little or fill in the gaps. Yeah.
Congratulations on all your success.
Thank you.
You know what? Reach out if there's anything that we can do in the next 3 years to make your life easier, give you a platform, whatever. We're here for that. But Kat Robinson, thank you so much for joining us, and congratulations on all your success.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me. It was great to see you.
Our pleasure. Our pleasure. And if you want to, if you have any questions for Kat or want to get a hold of her in the Houston area, we are happy to forward those over to you. If you email us at ownit@side.com, we will get those to you. Do you have an Instagram that you would like to share out that people can follow you?
Yeah, so it's Kat Robinson Realtor, really original. And then Tailored Real Estate Group has its own page as well.
Perfect. Okay. Awesome. We'll share on social. So thank you again, Kat.
Thank you.
Thank you.